A devastating flood swept through Fukuoka Prefecture and surrounding regions on Sunday, August 10, 2025, following an unprecedented deluge caused by multiple linear precipitation zones. The Japan Meteorological Agency, JMA, issued warning level alerts as warm, humid air from a stationary front triggered intense rainfall across northern Kyushu, plunging communities into crisis and prompting mass evacuations. The JMA confirmed the formation of multiple linear precipitation zones over Fukuoka from Saturday night into early Sunday morning. These zones are notorious for producing concentrated rainfall in short periods, often leading to flash floods and landslides. Northern Kyushu, including Fukuoka, recorded up to 300 millimeters of rain in 24 hours. In some areas near Tamana and Kikuchi, rainfall reached 110 millimeters in just 1 hour, overwhelming drainage systems and saturating the soil. Meteorologists warned that similar rainbands could form in neighboring prefectures such as Yamaguchi, Saga, and Nagasaki until late Sunday evening, increasing the risk of further flooding. Fukuoka Prefecture convened its first disaster response headquarters meeting early Sunday morning. Officials coordinated emergency measures, including evacuation advisories, rescue operations, and public safety announcements. In Karatsu City, over 113,000 residents across 51,000 households were ordered to evacuate due to landslide risks. Level 4 alerts were issued, urging residents to leave immediately. The Sanayo Shinkansen suspended operations between Hiroshima and Hakata stations, halting all services on that segment for the day. This left thousands of travelers stranded and disrupted logistics across western Japan. Streets in central Fukuoka, including Hakata Ward and Tenjin, were submerged under knee-deep water. Cars were stranded, storefronts inundated, and power outages affected several districts. Rural devastation. In mountainous areas, swollen rivers breached embankments, washing away bridges and isolating villages. Emergency crews struggled to reach affected zones due to blocked roads and landslide debris. Shelters and relief. Schools and community centers were converted into emergency shelters. Volunteers and local officials distributed food, water, and blankets to evacuees, many of whom fled with little notice. Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba expressed deep concern and pledged full support for affected regions. "We are mobilizing all available resources to ensure the safety and recovery of our citizens," he said in a televised address. The self-defense forces deployed helicopters and amphibious vehicles to assist in rescue efforts. Fire departments and Coast Guard units collaborated to evacuate stranded residents and deliver supplies. Authorities used emergency alert systems, social media, and local radio to disseminate real-time updates. Residents were urged to monitor JMA warnings and follow evacuation instructions promptly. Besides the Shinkansen, local train lines and bus services were suspended. Fukuoka Airport reported delays and cancellations due to poor visibility and flooded access roads. Preliminary estimates suggest damage to thousands of homes, businesses, and public infrastructure. Insurance claims are expected to surge in the coming weeks. Agricultural impact. Farmlands in Chikugo and Asakura were submerged, threatening rice and vegetable harvests. Local farmers expressed concern over long-term soil degradation and crop loss. Engineers and geologists are conducting site inspections to assess structural damage and landslide risks. Restoration of utilities and transportation is underway. The flood has reignited debates over Japan's disaster preparedness and climate adaptation strategies. Urban planners and environmentalists are calling for improved drainage systems, reforestation, and stricter zoning laws. Despite the devastation, Stories of neighborly support and volunteerism have emerged. Residents formed human chains to rescue the elderly, and local businesses offered free meals and shelter. Viral photos showed submerged cars on Fukuoka's expressways, overflowing rivers, and rescue boats navigating city streets. The rain was relentless. "We barely had time to grab our things," said Ayaka Tanaka, a resident of Kurume. "But the community came together. We're helping each other through this." Meanwhile, Kyushu is currently grappling with severe floods and landslides after relentless torrential rains battered the region. This extreme weather has led to widespread travel chaos and forced thousands of residents to evacuate their homes. The heavy rainfall has overwhelmed local infrastructure, triggering mudslides and swelling rivers that have inundated communities. In addition, Kyushu's transportation systems have come to a standstill, leaving travelers stranded as flights and trains are canceled or delayed. Local authorities have issued emergency evacuation orders for the hardest-hit areas, particularly in Kagoshima and Miyazaki. As the situation continues to unfold, residents and visitors are urged to stay informed and heed the warnings issued by local officials. Travelers planning to visit Kyushu should reconsider their plans and prepare for potential disruptions. With more rain expected, conditions could worsen, making safety a top priority. Heavy rain has caused rivers to overflow in various locations, including Kagoshima and Miyazaki prefectures. Era City, in Kagoshima, has seen mudslides bury homes, and at least 2 people have been rescued from debris. More than 360,000 people have been evacuated in these regions, with local authorities working to provide shelter and relief. The government has deployed a task force to assist in the recovery efforts. The Japan Meteorological Agency, JMA, has issued an official warning for Kyushu, predicting continued heavy rainfall, which poses an ongoing threat to residents and travelers alike. Kagoshima City has also seen severe flooding, with waters reaching knee level in some areas. These conditions are causing widespread damage and creating hazardous travel conditions. Travel disruptions, flights and local transport affected. As a result of the severe weather, there have been extensive disruptions to transportation networks in Kyushu. Local trains and bus services have been suspended, leaving many travelers stranded. Flights in and out of Kagoshima Airport have been canceled, and other airports in the region, including Miyazaki Airport, are experiencing delays or cancellations. If you are flying into or out of Kyushu, it is strongly advised to check flight statuses with airlines before heading to the airport. Travel delays are expected to continue as the weather system progresses, and travelers should be prepared for potential extended waits. The Japanese government has mobilized resources to provide relief and safety to the affected regions. Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba has reassured residents that the government will do everything in its power to ensure their safety. The Fire and Disaster Management Agency is coordinating evacuation efforts, and emergency shelters have been set up in Kagoshima and Miyazaki prefectures. Travelers who are already in Kyushu should follow evacuation orders and head to designated shelters if advised by local authorities. Stay updated on local news and continue monitoring advisories issued by the Japan Meteorological Agency. As Kyushu grapples with the effects of this severe weather event, travelers must prioritize safety above all else. The torrential rains and flooding present significant risks, and travel disruptions are likely to continue. Those in the region should be prepared for delays, canceled flights, and transportation halts. Stay connected with local news, follow official evacuation orders, and take necessary precautions to ensure your safety during this challenging situation. Due to the influence of this front, Fukuoka, Yamaguchi, and Oita prefectures have experienced the formation of successive bands of linear precipitation. Rain clouds that formed overnight moved southward, causing heavy rain in Kumamoto Prefecture and forming bands of linear precipitation, significantly increasing the risk of disasters. Further bands of linear precipitation are expected to develop in northern and southern Kyushu Prefecture and Yamaguchi Prefecture until the 11th, with the risk of increased rainfall. Therefore, please spend the night in a safe location on the 10th and be aware of landslides and river flooding. Heavy rain is also expected in eastern and northern Japan, requiring caution regarding the possibility of landslides. According to the Japan Meteorological Agency, JMA, the influx of warm, humid air toward the front has created highly unstable atmospheric conditions, leading to the formation of rain clouds in northern Kyushu. The rain clouds that formed gradually moved southward compared to the afternoon and are currently forming in Kumamoto Prefecture. Radar analysis indicates that approximately 110 millimeters of heavy rain fell in the areas around Tamana City and Kikuchi City in the hours leading up to 10 p.m., and in the areas around Kita Ward, Yamaga City, Koshi City, and Gyukudo City in the hours leading up to 10 p.m., leading to the issuance of a record-breaking short-term heavy rain warning. Furthermore, just after 10 p.m., a particularly heavy rain weather warning was issued, reporting that extremely heavy rain caused by a linear band of precipitation was continuing in the same area of Kumamoto. Due to the heavy rainfall thus far, the risk of landslides has increased significantly in Fukuoka, Nagasaki, Saga, Oita, Kumamoto, Yamaguchi, Shirmane, Ishikawa, Kanagawa, and Niigata prefectures, and landslide warnings have been issued in several areas. Furthermore, several rivers in northern Kyushu, Yamaguchi, and Ishikawa prefectures have exceeded flood danger levels. Extremely heavy rain is expected to continue in Kyushu and Yamaguchi prefectures until the morning of the 11th. The Japan Meteorological Agency predicts that linear bands of rain will occur in Fukuoka, Yamaguchi, Saga, Nagasaki, Kumamoto, and Oita prefectures until the morning of the 11th, and they will also occur in Kagoshima and Miyazaki prefectures, excluding the Amami region, from late tonight until around noon on the 11th, warning of a sudden increase in the risk of disasters. Furthermore, a low-pressure system will move toward Hokuriku throughout the night of the 11th, and a front will stall from the Sea of Japan in western Japan into the Tohoku region until the 12th, thus forecasting increased rainfall in eastern and northern Japan as well. Rainfall during the 24 hours through the evening of the 11th is expected to reach 300 millimeters in Shikoku, 250 millimeters in southern Kyushu and the Tokai region, 200 millimeters in northern Kyushu and the Kanto Kashin region, 180 millimeters in Yamaguchi Prefecture and the Kinki region, 150 millimeters in the Chugoku region, and 100 millimeters in Hokuriku. Rainfall is expected to continue, with forecasts calling for 150 millimeters in the Tokai region, 120 millimeters in northern Kyushu, Shikoku, Hokuriku, and the Kanto Kashin region, and 100 millimeters in Yamaguchi Prefecture and the Kinki region during the 24 hours through the evening of the 12th. In northern and southern Kyushu, as well as Yamaguchi Prefecture, be aware of landslides, flooding in low-lying areas, and overflowing rivers. The rainfall so far has significantly increased the risk of disasters. Please stay in a safe place tonight, for example by moving to a sturdy building. Also be aware of the potential for landslides, flooding in low-lying areas, and river overflows in eastern and northern Japan.